The Young and the Restless spoilers, Wednesday update. Billy's struggle, the weight of loss and the quest for answers. Billy Abbott's life is spiraling into a deep, overwhelming darkness. Everything he once knew has slipped through his fingers, leaving him with little more than frustration and confusion. The return of Jill to Genoa City has complicated things further, throwing Billy into a whirlwind of uncertainty about his future. Once a confident and charming businessman, Billy now finds himself at a loss, unable to regain the control he once had. The pressures are mounting, but is there any hope left for him to rise from the ashes of his shattered life? Sally's support, a double-edged sword. Amidst the wreckage of his life, Billy has found a glimmer of understanding in Sally. She has been the one person who truly empathizes with him, offering comfort and compassion during his darkest moments. For a time, it seemed there might be potential for something more between them, someone who could understand Billy's struggles and help him rebuild. However, there's a catch. Sally's lingering feelings for Adam continue to cast a shadow over their growing connection. Billy can't help but feel the distance between them, knowing Sally's heart is still tethered to someone else. While she may be there for him in his time of need, he senses she's not fully present emotionally. This ongoing conflict leaves Billy feeling even more isolated, unsure of where he stands in her life. In these moments, Billy's despair deepens, and the temptation to give up grows stronger. But is he truly ready to quit, or is this just another test of his resilience? Billy's investigation. What does Jill want? With everything on the line, Billy is determined to uncover Jill's true intentions. Her return to Genoa City is no accident, and Billy can't shake the feeling that there's more going on behind the scenes. What does Jill want from him? Why has she re-entered his life at this moment of vulnerability? Billy knows Jill is a force to be reckoned with, but this time, he's not willing to let her control the narrative. He digs into her every move, hoping to uncover some clue that will give him the upper hand. The stakes are high, and the pressure is mounting. Billy's relentless pursuit of answers might just be the thing that saves him from losing everything. Victor, Jack, and Nikki. Tensions in the triangle. Meanwhile, Victor's relationship with Nikki is on the rocks, and he has someone to blame for it, Jack Abbott. Victor has long been resentful of Jack's close friendship with Nikki and is now using Jack as a scapegoat for his failing marriage. He accuses Jack of driving a wedge between him and Nikki, but in reality, Jack has done nothing but maintain a respectful and platonic relationship with her. Nikki, however, is not blind to the emotional toll Victor's behavior has taken on their relationship. The distance between them has grown, but it's not Jack's fault. It's Victor's inability to maintain trust and understanding with the woman he claims to love. As tensions rise between Victor and Nikki, Jack stands firm as a friend, offering Nikki support without romantic expectations. But in Victor's mind, Jack is the problem, and he's determined to blame someone for his unraveling life. The power struggle. Jordan and Ian's relationship on the brink. Finally, we see a shift in the dynamic between Jordan and Ian Ward. Once partners in a shady alliance, their relationship is now on the verge of collapse. Ian, ever the manipulative strategist, has begun treating Jordan with contempt, disregarding her contributions and attempting to control her actions. Jordan, on the other hand, is growing increasingly frustrated. She's not used to being controlled, and Ian's attitude is pushing her to the edge. Although their partnership began with mutual interests in manipulation, it's clear the cracks are starting to show. Ian views Jordan as a pawn, while Jordan realizes she can't trust him. Their collaboration is spiraling into chaos, and it seems only a matter of time before it completely unravels. Will Jordan walk away from this toxic alliance, or will she retaliate? One thing is clear, the partnership has become a liability, and the end is near. A storm brewing in Genoa City. In the midst of these tangled relationships and emotional upheavals, Genoa City is hurtling toward a series of confrontations that could change everything. From Billy's quest for answers to Victor's disintegration with Nikki and Jordan's faltering alliance with Diane, the stakes have never been higher. Will Billy find a way to rise from his despair? Will Nikki choose peace over loyalty to Victor? And how will Jordan handle Diane's power play? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. The storm is coming, and Genoa City will never be the same. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Pulse Canvas. It's me, Julie here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, December 11, reveal that Victor Newman will refuse to let Jack Abbott have the last laugh. Jack bought up all the glissade divisions that Victor sold for cheap, but Victor will find a way to strike back. No matter what vengeful move Victor makes, you can bet Jack isn't going to like it. Nikki Newman surely won't approve either, since Victor and Jack are caught in this payback cycle that's never going to end. Over with Billy Abbott and Diane Jenkins Abbott, they'll do some scheming together. It sounds like Diane and Billy will form an alliance against Victor, so we'll see what strategies they come up with at their brainstorming session. Of course, Billy will also get updates on Diane and Jack's fake marriage drama. Once Billy finds out about the charade and the plan to free Kyle Abbott from Victor, he should understand. Diane was already pushing Jack to make Kyle co-CEO when Billy made his pitch, so Billy may cut his brother some slack. Jack has been trying to repair his father-son bond with Kyle, so Billy should respect that. Other Y and R spoilers say Phyllis Summers will become a spy target on Wednesday's episode. It turns out Sharon Newman will be the one who snoops, so she may follow Phyllis and listen in on her next discussion. Since we know Sharon will be spying on her longtime rival, does that mean she'll be suspicious of Phyllis? Could Sharon start to suspect Phyllis was the one who tainted her pills with PCP? At this point in the story, Sharon may not be able to think of anyone else who'd go after her. Phyllis and Sharon's feud has gone to a pretty insane level lately, so maybe Sharon will worry that Phyllis tried to drive her over the edge. I and our fans know Jordan and Diane Ward are actually the ones to blame, so they'll have to keep covering their tracks. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Diane and Jordan will face some other hurdles and shocking news along the way, so we'll bring you more predictions on all the mayhem. The Young and the Restless spoilers recap for Tuesday, December 10, reveals that Phyllis Summers will derail Faith Newman and Sharon Newman's breakfast at Society, where Phyllis will act like Faith needs to go back to school and get away from her whack job mother. Faith will blurt out that Sharon was drugged, but Phyllis will assume it's just some bogus defense that Michael Baldwin is going with now. Afterward, on Tuesday's I and R episode, Phyllis will give Daniel Romalotti Jr. updates on her latest confrontation. Daniel will assume there must be evidence, or else Michael wouldn't use this drugging defense strategy. Although Phyllis will rant about Sharon's crimes, Daniel will seem more willing to consider the idea that Sharon was driven off the rails. At Crimson Lights, Diane Ward will eavesdrop on Mariah Copeland and Nick Newman's conversation. Although Mariah will wonder if maybe this was an accidental pharmacy error, Nick won't think there's any chance of that. Instead, Nick will insist that Sharon was targeted, so he'll be determined to investigate, and he'll mention Chance Chancellor's police investigation too. After Maria makes a prediction about the danger that's still out there, she'll insist nobody is safe. Diane will mutter that Maria has no idea before he makes a hasty exit through the patio door. Back at the motel, Diane will barge in and startle Jordan awake. When Diane tosses his hat on the bed, Jordan will snap at him since that's bad luck. Jordan will lash out over Diane not spying on Claire Newman, Victoria Newman, and Cole Howard like they talked about, but he'll argue that he has other priorities. Although Diane will worry about the police investigation and the possibility that Jordan left a clue that could lead back to them, she'll insist there's nothing. Ian will warn that he could bring all this crashing down on Jordan, but she'll plan to bring him down with her if that happens. In the end, Ian will suggest they'd better make sure they pull this off then. Back at the coffee house, Faith and Sharon will tell Nick and Mariah what went down with Phyllis earlier. Although Sharon, Mariah, and Nick will all push Faith to leave Genoa City, since things could still be dangerous, Faith will once again insist on staying put. As for Sharon, she'll finally agree not to change her plea. Sharon will ultimately suggest getting a trained professional to hypnotize her and try to figure out what happened while she was blacked out. At Nate Hastings' place, he'll talk to Audra Charles about a private eye recommended by Devin Winters. With this private eye's help, Nate will suggest that he could meet his half-brother Damien any day now. Nate will appreciate having Audra to lean on during all this and will admit to trusting her. Audra will still seem a little uncomfortable over their romance deepening, but she'll like having Nate in her life. At the Abbott mansion, Devin and Abby Winters will show up to reunite with Dominic Newman Abbott Chancellor Winters following their honeymoon, which will give them a chance to catch up with Ashley Abbott too. Abby will privately ask Ashley how she's doing, so Ashley will admit things aren't perfect since she's having nightmares about Paris. Ashley will also confess that despite all the progress she made at the clinic, nothing really came of her efforts to figure out the source of her early trauma. The Young and the Restless spoilers say more trouble could be brewing for Ashley, so stay tuned for any other news related to her did. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, December 10, reveal that Daniel Romalotti Jr. and Phyllis Summers will be determined to get justice. Someone needs to pay the price for Heather Stevens' demise, and right now, Phyllis and Daniel believe that someone should be Sharon Newman. Sharon confessed to the crime, but there's a shocking new development in this case since her meds were tampered with. PCP is to blame for sending Sharon off the rails, but how will Daniel and Phyllis react once they get updates on that news? Phyllis may think it's just a cop-out and argue that Sharon still needs to go down for what she did. Daniel might have questions and end up on the fence since things are more complicated than he thought. Of course, there's no guarantee Daniel and Phyllis will hear about the PCP just yet since Michael Baldwin's priority is crafting Sharon's defense. It might be something Phyllis and Daniel are kept out of the loop on for the time being. As for Ian Ward, he'll have an unexpected encounter with somebody from his past. Could Ian spot Sharon during her private time in the park, or could he maybe bump into Maria Copeland somewhere instead? Regardless, Ian will have a dark hat and sunglasses on during this surprise meeting, so he might be able to hurry past without exposing his identity, at least for now. Other Young and the Restless spoilers say Abby Winters and Devin Winters will come home from their honeymoon, so they'll talk about their romantic trip and look forward to kicking off this married chapter together. Abby will be sporting a short and sassy new haircut, so our predictions point to Devin mentioning how much he loves it. Devin and Abby will be on cloud 9 as a couple, so they hopefully won't have to deal with any major storms for a while. I&R has some great scenes coming up involving the newlyweds once Tuesday's episode gets underway. We'll have other terrific Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, updates, and news to check out, so visit us often for more Y&R info. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, December 10 indicate some interesting moments in Genoa City. Coming up on Young and the Restless, two people demand justice, while the honeymoon is over for one super couple, and a character gets a blast from the past. What kind of drama is set to unravel on Tuesday? Time to dive right in. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Phyllis Summers and Daniel Romalotti want justice. Y&R spoilers for Tuesday, December 10 note that Daniel Romalotti and Phyllis Summers will demand justice for Heather Stevens. It sounds like the news surrounding Sharon Newman's toxicology report results will be revealed to them. But will they feel as bad for Sharon as everyone else does? Probably not. Y&R spoilers. Dabby's back from their honeymoon. Across town, Y&R spoilers for Tuesday, December 10 suggest that the honeymoon will be over as newlyweds. Divan Hamilton Winters and Abby Newman Abbott Hamilton Winters return to Genoa City. A lot has happened since their November 13th wedding, so will they be happy to be home or regret not enjoying a longer holiday? Fans will have to tune in to find out. Y&R spoilers, Ian Ward's blast from the past. Lastly, Y&R spoilers reveal that Ian Ward will take a page out of Jordan's disguise book and don a costume of some sort to head out into the real world. It seems as if Jordan has been doing all the legwork around gathering intel, and she encouraged him to step up in this regard during the Monday, December 9 show. Added teasers for Tuesday's show imply that Ian will run into someone from the past while he's out and about in Genoa City, but who will it be? Adam Newman? Nick Newman? Possibly Maria Copeland or Phyllis? Will they recognize him? Fans will have to tune in to find out. What storyline are you most excited about seeing on Tuesday? Comment below. Catch Y&R Daily on CBS and visit SOS often for the best Young and the Restless news, spoilers, and updates. The Young and the Restless spoilers recap for Tuesday, December 10, reveals that Phyllis Summers will derail Faith Newman and Sharon Newman's breakfast at Society, where Phyllis will act like Faith needs to go back to school and get away from her whack job mother. Faith will blurt out that Sharon was drugged, but Phyllis will assume it's just some bogus defense that Michael Baldwin is going with now. Afterward, on Tuesday's I&R episode, Phyllis will give Daniel Romalotti Jr. updates on her latest confrontation. Daniel will assume there must be evidence, or else Michael wouldn't use this drugging defense strategy. Although Phyllis will rant about Sharon's crimes, Daniel will seem more willing to consider the idea that Sharon was driven off the rails. At Crimson Lights, Ian Ward will eavesdrop on Maria Copeland and Nick Newman's conversation. Although Maria will wonder if maybe this was an accidental pharmacy error, Nick won't think there's any chance of that. Instead, Nick will insist that Sharon was targeted, so he'll be determined to investigate. And he'll mention Chance Chancellor's police investigation too. After Maria makes a prediction about the danger that's still out there, she'll insist nobody is safe. Ian will mutter that Maria has no idea before he makes a hasty exit through the patio door. Back at the motel, Ian will barge in and startle Jordan awake. When Ian tosses his hat on the bed, Jordan will snap at him since that's bad luck. Jordan will lash out over Ian not spying on Claire Newman, Victoria Newman, and Cole Howard like they talked about, but he'll argue that he has other priorities. Although Ian will worry about the police investigation and the possibility that Jordan left a clue that could lead back to them, she'll insist there's nothing. Ian will warn that he could bring all this crashing down on Jordan, but she'll plan to bring him down with her if that happens. Back at the coffee house, Faith and Sharon will tell Nick and Mariah what went down with Phyllis earlier. Although Sharon, Mariah, and Nick will all push Faith to leave Genoa City, since things could still be dangerous, Faith will once again insist on staying put. As for Sharon, she'll finally agree not to change her plea. Sharon will ultimately suggest getting a trained professional to hypnotize her and try to figure out what happened while she was blacked out. At Nate Hastings' place, he'll talk to Audra Charles about a private eye recommended by Devin Winters. With this private eye's help, Nate will suggest that he could meet his half-brother Damien any day now. Nate will appreciate having Audra to lean on during all this and will admit to trusting her. Audra will still seem a little uncomfortable over their romance deepening, but she'll like having Nate in her life. At the Abbott mansion, Devin and Abby Winters will show up to reunite with Dominic Newman Abbott Chancellor Winters following their honeymoon, which will give them a chance to catch up with Ashley Abbott too. Abby will privately ask Ashley how she's doing, so Ashley will admit things aren't perfect since she's having nightmares about Paris. Ashley will also confess that despite all the progress she made at the clinic, nothing really came of her efforts to figure out the source of her early trauma. The Young and the Restless spoilers say more trouble could be brewing for Ashley, so stay tuned for any other news related to her did. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Tuesday, December 10, prove that Ian isn't as smart as he thinks he is when he's spotted by a blast from his past. Who can it be now? Ian did a lot of damage the last time he was in Genoa City, but the people he really left his mark on most were Sharon and Mariah. They thought they were done with him for good. We know they're not, and soon they'll know it too. Ian is a person you'll never forget, and once either mother or daughter lays eyes on him, they have to start suspecting that Ian may be behind their family's latest troubles, right? Justice for Heather. Heather is dead. Daniel naturally wants her killer punished not just for Heather, but for him and for Lucy as well. Phyllis, on the other hand, says that she wants justice for Heather and Daniel and Lucy. But we know all she wants is for Sharon to be put in prison and for everyone in Genoa City to come groveling, begging Phyllis forgiveness for ever having thought she might not be right about anything. Lauren and Michael had better be first in line to throw themselves on Phyllis' mercy. But the pinnacle of Phyllis' forgiveness tour should be Nick. If this doesn't make him realize who his favorite ex-wife is, was, and always will be, then, well, Phyllis will just have to do something else. For Heather and Daniel and Lucy, of course. Welcome, Matt. Abby and Devin are back from their honeymoon. We didn't realize they were gone. Where was Dominic? Does it matter? Guess they'll have opinions about things. There were plenty of people in Genoa City who were thrilled to see that Jack and Diane were on the outs on the Young and the Restless. And they were subsequently quite disappointed to learn that the collapse of their marriage had all been a scheme to help rescue Kyle from Victor. However, Jack and Diane's performances during their false breakup were pretty convincing. Maybe too convincing? I have two things to say about it. Peter Bergman told Soap Opera Digest. One is, again, Jack is going to extremes. The whole Nikki thing was a bit extreme, and hiding from their family that they are not, in fact, fighting and all of this stuff. They went a long way to save their son. At the same time, they were playing this game of pretend, but it was all ad-libbed, and I think things were said that can't be unsaid, in their effort to appear real to others. It put a big question mark in Diane's mind, he continued. Jack said some things that, wow, I mean, he went a big step too far in letting the world know that he has big questions about Diane, and I think there's a price to pay for that. Now that they've come clean with their deception and revealed that they are in fact still happily married, might the words they exchanged during their pretend arguments plant real seeds of dissent in their minds going forward? I wonder if that's where we're headed, Bergman mused. Incidentally, I asked them not to tell me, so we'll see where it goes. But I think that's an interesting little twist to the whole thing, that in their efforts to, as a team, show the world that they weren't getting along anymore, Jack said some things that were deeply hurtful, and he's going to have to fix it. Share your predictions in the comments below and keep watching I and R to see how the storyline continues to play out. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Ashley Abbott may have more mental health drama coming up. Although there's been a lot of talk about how well Ashley's doing since her clinic release, she's not out of the woods yet. In the December 10 episode, Ashley admitted to Abby Winters that things aren't perfect since she's struggling with nightmares about Paris. Abby asked if Ashley thought the dissociative identity disorder was gone, but her mom didn't offer confirmation on that. Instead, Ashley played up all her progress at the clinic and avoided giving Abby a straight answer. That's probably because Ashley still fears her did could resurface and blow up her life. Since that's something Ashley is worried about, it's something fans should worry about too. We can certainly see the potential for Ashley's alternate personalities to come back and cause chaos. That's especially true since Ashley still hasn't figured out the early trauma from her youth that likely caused her did in the first place. Ashley confessed that although she tried to get to the bottom of it with her therapist, nothing really came of working to unearth those repressed memories. In other words, this dissociative identity disorder story isn't over since viewers don't have all the facts yet. It feels like the show's setting the stage for another chapter, one that involves Ashley's alters making a comeback before she ultimately uncovers the early trauma source. Then and only then can Ashley truly put this did behind her. Of course, I and our fans will be eager to see how and when Ashley's other identities might return. Ms. Abbott, Ash, and Belle could all come out to play, but there's also room for new identities to enter the picture. It'd be interesting if Ashley's alters wound up crossing paths with Jordan, Ian Ward, or both, so that's something to keep in mind. Whatever the case, Ashley may have more mental health issues to sort out, so we'll bring you predictions on the rocky road ahead. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Ashley's loved ones could end up panicking all over again, so stay tuned for updates on any alarming news to come. Be sure to make your one-stop Y and R source for all the hottest Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news, and updates you need. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Ian Ward and Aunt Jordan have been secretly creating chaos in Genoa City. Until now, they have been messing around with Sharon Newman. Meanwhile, Jordan has also been snooping around town wearing disguises. She has been collecting intel for her latest partner in crime. However, after having a close call with Kyle and Claire, Jordan has become a little more cautious. In the December 9, 2024 episode, she told him that from now on, he should get in disguise and do his own snooping. Now, the Young and the Restless spoilers tease that in the December 10, 2024 episode, Ian Ward has a run-in with someone from his past. We doubt that Ian gets exposed this early in the storyline, so whoever runs into him will not recognize him due to his disguise. Or if they do recognize him, they'll have to be silenced. Summer in trouble. Based on Ian's history in GC, there are many characters he could run into. Adam, Nikki, Phyllis, oh, the list is endless. However, we have a feeling that the character could be Summer Newman. Back in the day, the two did share some scenes together. He conned her into believing that he was a life coach. She even snapped some pictures with him, which he slyly used to blackmail her mother. Thus, it is possible that if Summer runs into him and recognizes him, Ian may feel forced to take her hostage. It will serve his purpose by giving him leverage over the Newmans. Meanwhile, it will also put Kyle in a place where he gets to play hero. We know we are due for a Summer Kyle-Claire love triangle. Kyle and Claire are already hitting the sheets, but when Summer gets kidnapped, Kyle may have a stunning realization that he still loves her. Of course, if he ends up saving Summer, he'll be her hero. We can totally see the three of them in the middle of a messy triangle. So stay tuned to Soap Opera Daily for more The Young and the Restless spoilers to find out what happens next. Meanwhile, do you want to see Summer and Kyle together again? Tell us in the comments. The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Ian lives by his badass reputation. The man is all set to spell trouble in Genoa City with Jordan's help. Next, Sharon wonders if she's normal after PCP-laced meds cause paranoia. Across GC, Kyle's decisions upset Claire, and Sally tries to get over Adam with Billy. Finally, Nate backs Audra with Winters while Victor's feud with Jack intensifies. Read on to get the lowdown. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Sharon goes rogue, Kyle hurts Claire. The Young and the Restless spoilers recall that Ian Ward is back and playing dirty. He struck a deadly partnership with Jordan and is ready to stir the pot in Genoa City. In another part, Sharon's inner voice will question everything, especially her sanity. Meanwhile, Sharon's toxicology report takes everyone by surprise. It turns out that someone has corrupted her meds, spiking it with PCP. The hallucinations, memory lapses, and paranoia weren't just bad luck. Everything was part of someone's dirty scheme. Did Diane meet Sharon in disguise and carry out the malicious deed? Moreover, Sharon starts pinning the blame on her longtime rival, Phyllis Summers. Elsewhere, Kyle Abbott makes a bitter move in his relationship with Claire Newman. Kyle lets Summer Newman call the shots instead of letting Claire tell Harrison about quitting the nanny's job. Subsequently, Claire gets hurt, but this isn't the first time Summer tries to sabotage her relationship with Kyle. Will Kyle's divided loyalties backfire? Is Audra loyal to Winters? Next, Sally Spectra is trying to move on after her nasty breakup with Adam Newman. With Billy Abbott conquering her heart, she's ready to turn a new leaf. We hope her heart doesn't break into pieces. Over at the Winters family table, Nate Hastings makes a daring romantic move. The man vouches for Audra Charles, hoping to reconcile and pave the way to assimilate her into Winters. We wonder if Lily Winters and Divin Hamilton will take the bait, or will they keep an eagle eye on her? Furthermore, Victor Newman flexes his power as his feud with Jack Abbott amplifies. We can't wait to see if Diane Jenkins Abbott and Billy Abbott succeed in their scheming. Will Victor outsmart Billy and Diane and deliver tit for tat? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Nate Hastings will once again go to bat for Audra Charles. Nate wants Audra to work at the family company and promises to try to talk them into giving Audra a job. Can Nate convince Devin Winters that Audra can be trusted? The Young and the Restless spoilers, Nate Hastings loves Audra Charles. The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that Nate loves Audra and he wants a future with her. Nate knows that Audra has been less than honest about a lot of things, but he believes her feelings for him are genuine. Nate wants Audra to work with him at Hamilton Winters. Abby Winters and Devin should understand how Nate feels. Abby and Devin enjoy working together as well. Abby is on the board, so she has to agree with this too. Can Nate appeal to her compassionate side and convince her to give Audra a chance? Can they trust Audra not to double-cross them if she does get a job there? My and our spoilers, Audra Charles could be a huge asset. Audra may have been a free agent in the past, but she and Nate have a bond. Nate is convinced that Audra will be an asset to the company, and she has proven how good she is many times. Audra could use her skills to help make Hamilton Winters even bigger and better if given half the chance. Devin has a reason to be concerned. After all, Audra has worked for Tucker McCall and Victor Newman in takeover attempts. Audra double-crossed Tucker for Victor. However, people change. Maybe Audra deserves a chance to prove herself to them. The Young and the Restless spoilers, Nate Hastings changed. Nate attempted that same thing with Hamilton Winters before until he got caught up in his misdeeds. However, Devin forgave Nate and gave him another chance. Is there anything at the company that Audra might be able to help with? Can Devin afford to give Audra a chance to prove herself? If Devin truly wants this to be a family company, he may want to give Audra a chance. After all, Nate is determined to keep things going with Audra. Surely Audra won't lie to Nate about working with his this time. Nate and Audra have become very close, and he feels they have a future. Does she agree? Do Nate and Audra have what it takes to make it in the end? The Young and the Restless spoilers shock. In the midst of the emotional chaos unfolding in Genoa City, the battle for Harrison's heart and mind takes a heartbreaking turn as news of Kyle's upcoming marriage to Claire reaches the young boy. Harrison is thrown into a whirlwind of confusion and fear at the thought of losing his mother figure, Summer, and potentially being pushed aside by Kyle, the man who has always been a distant father figure. The news fills Harrison with anxiety and dread. For nearly a year, Harrison has been living in Genoa City, a town filled with emotional turmoil and shifting allegiances. Though young, Harrison isn't blind to the dynamics shaping his life. He knows who truly loves and cares for him. Summer has always been the constant in his life, showering him with love, providing stability, and nurturing him with the devotion every child needs. In contrast, Claire, though kind and responsible, has never offered Harrison the same level of emotional warmth. To him, Claire feels more like a caregiver, a stranger playing the role of a good mother when required, but never truly a mother like Summer. The idea that Kyle is marrying Claire, potentially severing his relationship with Summer, devastates Harrison. It feels like he's being pulled in two directions, one toward a mother he doesn't want to lose, and another toward a father who seems indifferent to his feelings. Kyle, fixated on his own future, is excited about his relationship with Claire. He's convinced they can build a happy life together, failing to see the emotional toll his actions are taking on Harrison. To Kyle, his son is just a child who will adjust in time. He believes Harrison will come around once he sees the stability and happiness Kyle and Claire can provide. Kyle dismisses the bond between Harrison and Summer, reasoning that since Summer isn't Harrison's biological mother, it shouldn't matter. But he underestimates the strength of that bond and its significance to Harrison's sense of security and happiness. As the tension between father and son escalates, Harrison's frustration boils over. In a heated argument, he refuses to accept such a drastic change to his life. He doesn't want to be part of a family where he feels like an outsider, nor does he want to lose Summer, the person he considers his true mother. Harrison's emotional outburst shocks Kyle but reflects the deep pain and fear the boy feels. Declaring that he wants to live with Summer, Harrison demands that Kyle and Claire respect his wishes. He vows to fight for his right to stay with Summer, even if it means a courtroom battle against his father. The upcoming legal drama will test Harrison's courage and Kyle's resolve. With stakes higher than ever, the battle for custody will deepen the divide between father and son. Kyle may believe time will heal Harrison's wounds, but this isn't about time. It's about love, security, and the future of a child who has already endured significant emotional upheaval. Harrison's determination to fight for Summer's custody will be the ultimate test of Kyle's paternal instincts. Will Kyle recognize the deep emotional bond between Summer and his son, or will his desire for a new life with Claire blind him to what Harrison truly needs? This battle for Harrison's future is far from over. Its outcome will shape the lives of everyone involved. One thing is certain: Harrison's fight for love and care is just beginning, and it's a battle that will change the course of his life forever. The Young and the Restless predictions suggest Sharon Newman thinks Phyllis Summers is to blame, while Lily Winters may choose fight over family. These are based on Y and R spoilers, and we also have storyline insight for Diane Jenkins Abbott and Billy Abbott. Also, Summer Newman, Claire Newman, and Victor Newman tangle, plus another for Sally Spectra and Phyllis. In her weekly look ahead at front burner plots on the CBS soap, Belinda from Soap Dirt makes predictions. She'll talk about Sharon Newman coming for Phyllis Summers after the tainted PCP pill reveal. And Lily Winters makes a big decision that maybe could go to war on Young and the Restless. Take a look at Diane and Billy's schemes. And Summer keeps taking swipes at Claire, but Victor wonders if his new granddaughter's doing bad to his other grandkid on I and R. Last, the love triangle of Billy, Phyllis, and Sally Spectra could end faster than expected. These predictions from Belinda at Soap Dirt are always based on official soap opera spoilers and recent episode drama. Get your Young and Restless predictions for this week and beyond below. Ian Ward is about to venture out after all this time sitting in a motel. Unfortunately, it seems that he will also run into someone from his past. Jordan Howard is certainly tired of getting the blame for everything when she is the one doing all the work. Jordan will encourage Ian to take a stroll. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Who will Ian Ward run into while he's out? Fans suspect that Ian will run into one of the older Newmans, Mariah Copeland, Nikki Newman, Adam Newman, or Phyllis Summers, the person Jordan recently drove off the road to frame Sharon Newman. However, Ian has run-ins with Summer Newman a few times. Ian once convinced Summer that he was a life coach and conned her into taking some photos with her that he later used to blackmail Nikki with. Summer could lose it if she bumped into Ian because she knows just how dangerous he can be. I&R spoilers. Summer Newman could solve the case. Summer may very well put all of the pieces together and solve this case for everyone. Seeing Ian makes perfect sense when it comes to Sharon's medication being messed with and someone running Phyllis off the road. Ian may have to think fast and knock Summer out before she causes a scene. However, Summer's absence would be noticed fairly quickly consider that she has her son who she sees daily. Summer also has Marchetti, which Jordan and Ian can text and pretend to be Summer. Summer could pretend to be on a spa getaway or something. Would her staff buy that? The Young and the Restless spoilers. Claire Newman is a hostage. Ian could also end up grabbing Claire Newman. Of course, Ian probably doesn't know what Claire looks like, but she could certainly identify Jordan. Will Ian deliver Claire right into Jordan's hands, or could something happen that Claire gets away from Ian? Will Ian blow the who plan himself? Ian is very good at blaming Jordan for everything that goes wrong, but he isn't taking any responsibility for his part of this plan. When will Ian and Jordan be stopped? How many more people need to be dragged into this before these two get caught and stopped? Could Ian and Jordan both get a one-way ticket back to prison? The Young and the Restless spoilers reveal that Sharon Newman will go under hypnosis with the help of a trained professional, so it makes sense that she might turn to Alan Laurent for assistance. Tracy Abbott already introduced the two of them, so perhaps Y&R was laying the groundwork for Alan to eventually hypnotize Sharon. Whatever the case, it's been established that Alan knows how to use hypnosis to recover memories. This would be an excellent opportunity for Alan to put his skills to good use and help Sharon try to figure out what really happened during her blackouts. Of course, the most important blackout transpired the night Heather Stevens faced a grim fate at her apartment. If Alan can help Sharon uncover what actually went down, then she'll find out some shocking news. It's easy to imagine Sharon recalling a woman's voice since Jordan was there doing Ian Ward's dirty work. Sharon might even remember overhearing a phone call if Jordan contacted Ian to say it was done. Although Sharon may not be able to identify the real culprit right off the bat, especially since it's believed Jordan is in prison, she might remember some crucial clues. Since Sharon also blacked out the night of Phyllis Summers' crash, Alan may help her recover those memories too. Sharon might remember a woman behind the wheel of the truck that Phyllis has been flashing back to. Perhaps Sharon could start connecting the dots based on some hypnotherapy sessions with Alan. This could lead to a major breakthrough in the case, which could turn up the heat on Jordan and her partner in crime. For a while, Y&R offered hints that Alan might actually be his evil twin brother, Martin Laurent. It seemed like the show might pull off some wild twist, but they've backed off those hints at this point. Maybe they decided to drop the whole twin swap thing, since we have enough villains running around thanks to Ian and Jordan. It'd be a shame to lose Tracy's sweet love story with Alan anyway. Regardless, the Young and the Restless spoilers say Sharon's upcoming hypnosis could change everything, so stay tuned for updates on what she'll recall and predictions on the fallout.